Perfect. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. We just had a new baby, so
Congratulations!
sleep deprived. And I can't believe it's already been like, I don't know, 21 days or something. But
Oh my
yeah.
God. That's awesome. Congratulations. That really is so exciting. And on top of that, you have a brand new movie, of course, coming out. So you must be feeling some way right now.
Yeah, they say babies always arrive with bread under their arm. There's an old Spanish saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely. And Borrego is definitely one of the things that I've been very proud of. A film that so many things were going against. When the pandemic hit, a simple film that was going to be shooting right outside of the desert in San Diego is now
Hmm.
shooting in Almeria, Spain. In the middle of the desert, and it couldn't have been a better gift for the film. It really, um, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful film.
Well, I think what you kind of jumped into one of my questions already is, you guys were initially supposed to film in San Diego, and then you got the terrible phone call to say, oh, now we have to move the location to Spain. So for you, what was it like filming in Spain? And you guys are in the middle of the desert trying to make this movie. So, talk to me a little bit about what it was like filming, and then kind of dealing with, the not only the mental exhaustion from being out in the middle of nowhere, but also the physical exhaustion as well.
I feel like you answered it, honestly. Anything I was like going to be like, well, but there's us, and you're like, yeah, you. That is it. Yes. Physically exhausted, long days, but those kind of days that are spent laughing the whole time too,
Mhm.
or feeling so exhausted because everybody was serious because everybody was tense about what was going on and making sure we are getting the shot with the limited time and the light we have, and it's so gorgeous out there, but it changes in a minute, and you try to capture things. So it was exciting because it was that kind of filmmaking. It was the
Mhm.
kind that was um, it was very young too. It felt like there was a very vibrant energy to this whole thing, and everybody really dug the meaning of the film, and everybody really loved different parts about it. That made it fun, knowing that props was really completely engaged. That everybody that was doing from greens to every job along the way in production was
Mhm.
excited about how this film was really going to turn out. And that's not always the case.
Well, I think you kind of noted that you found the laugh while on set. You made sure to keep it lighthearted, and this movie is not lighthearted. From the
It's not.
very second it starts, it
Let's
is.
be very let's be
Yeah.
very straight with everybody. This is not a lighthearted film. There are beautiful lighthearted moments that allow you to catch your breath, but not for long.
But
Uh, it's a
how do
perfect.
you find that though when you spend so many hours in that moment of anxiety, gripping, action? How do you find that once they call, cut, trying to find that happiness and the laughter?
It's some of it is because you're sharing it with a bunch of other people who feel that and see that same thing too, that feel the
Mhm.
sadness. And what do you do? I don't know what you do, but a lot of us have a drink. You're
Yeah.
feeling sadness together and share that, or at least talk and
Hmm.
know that it spurs conversations,
Yeah.
honestly, and that you'll see that on a set of when you're doing something that's making a difference.
Well, your character obviously has not only the professional responsibility and the professional anxiety going on in this movie, but he also has a personal anxiety and his daughter as well. You're just like, yeah. And you feel like his character, at least in my opinion, of all of the characters, your character had no downtime. There was no real like chance for him to catch his breath because one
Right.
moment he was dealing with this and one moment he was dealing with that. So kind of talk to me about reading that in the script and how you incorporated and brought that performance to life.
Well, I just love the immediacy of it all. Jesse is a good director. We're seeing by watching Borrego, but he's also a good writer. And that
Mhm.
comes off in the script. And that sense of everything happening at once. And a man that's completely and not in the position to. He has no choice. Yeah,
Mhm.
he has a choice, but the choice is to abandon his daughter, and ultimately, and that's something the last thing. That's the whole reason I think that he's put himself out here in the desert, far away from anything that can harm her. And the action of the film comes crashing in to ruin that, and he has to stand up and fight. But I love that there's a real sense of relationship with my daughter, with Olivia Trujillo, is that we see that even as everything escalates, you get to feel this kind of I feel like this intimacy, this kind of shorthand you see between two that have had to rely on each other. Where's his wife? What happened? Where's her mother? And she's 14, 16, I think. I'm trying to remember now. So to me, I love that. I love there's a song in there, and in the way that people have a rhythm with each other, and I felt like that was clear in the film, and in their different ways, in the pairings. When you see Lena and Lucy in another scene, that they have their own harmonics, and it just kind of works together in a beautiful film.
Well, what I also like is it's not very dialogue heavy. There's not it's not constant, monologue after monologue, or having to, describe the relationships by conversation.
Come on, body language, people. That's what we're going for.
But that's exactly it, is you guys were able to take what was on screen and elevate it through every nonverbal. So whether you were talking to, Olivia's Alex or not, I could feel that relationship that was there. I could see on your face when you're being chased that, the anxiety of, I still have to defend myself, but what am I, like, this is it. It's either do or die. And that takes a lot, but also you have, it sounds like, a director who allowed you to go that route and really take it and run with it. So can you talk a little bit about working with Jesse?
Well, the funny thing is, you said it again. You said it all, and I'll just agree with what you just said. But to further on your question, is that working with Jesse, though, I mean, that's a little bit the reason I was kind of sitting there smiling as you were talking about it, is because I was just letting it all wash over the compliment, because those are the fights that actors have with the writer director. Yes. Those are the fights you have with, like Jesse, that Lucy and I might be like, we don't need to say this, and Jesse's gonna go, well, how are they gonna know if you're not? We're like, we can play it, and that they always want you to say it anyway. So when those moments happen, or sometimes those moments are found and you're surprised because they're found by them in the editing. So in what you're saying, it is a hand in hand. But I had to fight for some of the quieter moments. But
was there anything that surprised you, that when you saw the final take for it, you said, man, I can't believe they kept that part in?
I feel that way with every bit of work I do in anything. So I can't believe they kept any of this in. I don't even know why you're talking to me, but here we are.
Was there then a character that you wish you had got to interact a little bit more with, not on both a on-screen level and, an off-screen level? Is there someone you didn't get to hang out with as much as you wanted to, or?
Jorge, Jorge's like, he's the dude, he's a man. We hung out a lot. I still would love to work with him, and just working with him. I don't know. It reminds me of why I got into the business. We sit and have great conversations and ask challenging questions of each other sometimes. It's just kind of a good peoples. So more Jorge.
What would you say was the most challenging part about bringing this movie to life?
I think the distance, being away for everybody, I know was kind of hard, but and in the middle of everything that was going on. But ultimately, I guess it was, the conditions, but they never really made it feel that way. Everyone was just too invested. Everyone wanted it to be the best. No one was going through the motions, and that was a tone set by Lucy from the beginning. Was working hard herself.
For my final question for you today, what are you hoping fans get from the movie?
I guess I'm hoping that fans get what I hope that many people get when they watch anything that really moves them, that I think has something to say, is a different perspective. You can't know another person's life until you've walked in their shoes, and all those other kinds of things that I think this movie really gives you a sense of. And take away this community of joining together with people again and watching cinema, which is a beautiful thing. So there's still movies out there, and we're one of them.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today. I'm excited for everyone to see the movie.
Thank you so much.